everyone. I am bringing you this bonus episode of the Paris Quiz Mistress podcast. This is a little teaser for my upcoming full episode with Francesca, and I think it gives you a little taster of the type of trivia you can expect to hear. So please enjoy. In his Divine Comedy, Dante describes the size of whose head by referencing this Fontana della Pina, the pine cone fountain at the Vatican. His head, this is the quote, his head appeared to me as long and large as is at Rome the pine cone of St. Peter's.
So a couple things come to mind for me. I was thinking of like all of the Gregory, all of the popes that show up in, I believe, in several of the circles. But I took Sarah knows, I took a Dante class in college. And all we read was the Divine Comedy. And what is coming to mind, like where my gut is going, because I remember us talking about this fountain. And then I remember looking at it when I lived in Rome. And so it is rather large. So I'm going to guess is the head of the devil. Because I think Dante is making that connection, like St. Peter's, or like the Pope's pine cone is like a direct correlation to like the devil's head. So I'm going to guess the head of the devil.
So are you just going to say the devil for every single answer from this point on?
You did call me a good Catholic girl. So apparently.
So I guess that's not wrong because... No. I was looking for Nimrod.
Oh, sure. Who
is like a giant
guy. Like a giant thing. Humanoid, I think is what I would say. He's somewhere down there. I think after Circle 6. I think he comes after the city of Dis. I could be wrong, though.
Right.
I haven't read it in about a decade.
We're gonna stay here for the next question. So the name of the biblical figure, Nimrod. Mm-hmm. Lots of them Bible characters showing up in Dante. Mm-hmm. So Nimrod can be used generically to describe a skillful hunter, but the definition of Nimrod meaning an inept person dates back to the 1930s when a cartoon character sarcastically refers to another as a poor little Nimrod. Name both characters.
Oh, man. Just like an interesting aside about Dante that you can totally cut if you want to, but I think one of the most interesting things to me about Dante is the fact that like non-Christian characters from mythology show up not only in Inferno, but they continue to show up in like Purgatory and Paradiso, which is just like an interesting thing that I think appears in that text. I'm stalling because I have no idea what the answer is. A 1930s cartoon.
Referring to a hunter.
Yeah, so
sarcastically.
I think the only thing I can come up with is Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd.
That's correct.
Oh, it is? I was going to say, I have no idea if they're that from that decade. That is fascinating.
Yep. So the modern definition of Nimrod can directly be linked to Bugs Bunny. Yep.
How fast? That is so interesting. The more you know.
There you go. Hey, you got it. You knew the answer.
It's a good one. I backed into it. It's a good one, though.
Yep.
So that hunter piece. I was like, oh, the only cartoon character who's a hunter must be Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. No, I like that one.
It's a good one.